प्यार में आपका स्वागत है and I hope you've had a nice Tuesday. I hope you had a nice trading session. Now though it's time to get started with Bank Nifty. Hourly chart here is what we have और हम लोग सीधा पहली चीज देख सकते हैं कि RSI 60 का रेजिस्टेंस आया था आज which is pretty obvious here and we can see कि जो 35,300 का जो level है that is where it started to face a little bit of resistance because we can see कि आज के जो हाई था आज का जो हाई था वो जस्ट 35,317 एंड उससे काफी स्विफ्ट प्राइस रिजेक्शन हो गया. सो इफ आई जस्ट डू द 5 मिनट चार्ट देन वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि थोड़ा सा अटेम्प्ट किया था बट इट फेल शॉर्ट अ लिटिल. सो उसके बाद ये अटेम्प्ट के बाद का जो हाई था दैट रियली कुड नॉट कम नियर 35,300 which is not a very good sign, but it's still fine. The market was able to recover fairly well, and there is something other which is a little interesting. I feel ये थोड़े lines ज़्यादा है but you'll have to bear with me because again this is just how I'm doing it. So ये जो trend line मैंने बनाया है, what that basically indicates to me is that this trend line was obviously acting as a resistance earlier, and now that has been breached. So basically जो shorter term bearishness जैसा आ गया था, I think that appears to have faded away, or at least it's starting to fade away. RSI is also very strong, which means कि momentum शायद फिर से आ रहा है, bullish momentum फिर से शायद आ रहा है, which might be a good sign. If you're a bull, if you're a bear, obviously not a good sign, but the beauty is that even if you're a bear you can still make money. You just need to time things better. So timing is very important. And now back to the 5 minute chart, I just wanted to show you one little thing. We always talk about intraday retracements, और अगर हम लोग 9:15 की कैंडल और 9:30 की कैंडल का रिट्रेसमेंट करते हैं तो हम लोग को क्या मिलता है कि 38.2 के लेवल के आसपास से ही सपोर्ट मिला था. सो typically, I like to use intraday retracements. Again, if you've been watching these videos for some time, you know that intraday retracements is something that I like to see quite often because चलो ठीक है, intraday में maybe it might not give us an indication, या हम लोग को उतना conviction नहीं होगा intraday में, but at least we'll get an idea of where price can reverse. These are the moving averages for Bank Nifty. We can see above the 13, above the 50, which is a good sign, and 50 MA के ऊपर है. Again, that is bullish. In fact, one of the strategies that I've actually spoken about on my YouTube channel is that 50 MA तोड़ता है on the hourly chart, then it actually starts to become bullish. So again, by that logic also Bank Nifty आज positive है, आज bullish है, which is a good sign. Now moving to some of the top banks, we've got HDFC Bank, which is the first bank, obviously the highest weighted bank, and we will do the daily chart. Hourly chart पे तो नहीं होगा. Yesterday I spoke about how this is an important candle और इसके ऊपर शायद कुछ bounce आ सकता है, and today we are seeing it up around 1%, which is a good sign. More importantly, I feel कल के high के ऊपर है, which is good. But then we can see कि ये जो मैं actually highlight ही कर लेता हूँ वही better रहेगा. ये जो कैंडल पैटर्न जैसा बना है ये जो थ्री का, आई थिंक देयर इज अ नेम फॉर दिस, आई कांट क्वाइट रिमेंबर इट, बट दैट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी कि इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ मिरर इमेज. यहाँ से और यहाँ से इट्स द सेम एक्सेप्ट दिस इज अ बेरिश वन, दिस इज अ बुलिश वन. सो दैट्स वेरी वेरी कूल टू सी दैट हैपनिंग. But I think as long as 1460 is held, HDFC Bank is bullish bias, and if 1530 is breached, then I think momentum से bullish हो सकता है HDFC Bank. That's what we're seeing. The next bank that is there on our list is ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank फटाफट से अगर देखें तो हम लोग देख सकते हैं 633 support actually worked. Yesterday only we spoke about how buying pressure is very strong. Daily chart भी Bank Nifty का ऐसा ही था. I'll just show that to you as well. Bank Nifty daily chart, so you get an idea of how similar things were. I'll just hide the drawings. See, this is Bank Nifty and this is ICICI Bank. We can see almost exactly same ही है, and that is very interesting to see. So I think as long as 630 is held, ICICI Bank should be okay. Next will be Kotak Bank. Kotak Bank, if I can just open, we can see अभी cluster में ही है, inside bar जैसा हुआ है. तो again it shows lack of momentum. Volumes are also down, which is not a good sign. RSI is below 50, again not a good sign. But Kotak Bank moves like this. It has a history of really not giving too much heed, really not paying too much heed to these momentum indicators or these candlestick patterns. उसको जब भी कूदना होता है ना तो वो ऐसे कूद सकता है. See, we can see here. I'll just highlight it. ये जितना भी पूरा फेज था, Kotak Bank underperformed severely. In fact, we can find out how much it underperformed from here. तो लोज क्लोज से लो करें तो 16% अंडर परफॉर्म किया इन हाउ मेनी डेज इन हाउ मेनी डेज in 21 days. So 21 sessions, 16%. And to recover that 16%, okay, to recover all of that, in fact, recover भी नहीं, उससे भी ज़्यादा कर लिया उसने, टू ब्रीच दैट 16%, 20% का मूव देने में उसको सिर्फ 5 दिन लगे. सो दिस इज कोटक बैंक, दिस इज व्हाट इट्स केपेबल ऑफ, एंड दैट्स व्हाई. एंड सी हियर इट वाज ऑल बेरिश मोमेंटम. सिर्फ ये स्पिनिंग टॉप जैसा आया था उसके बेसिस पे लॉन्ग जा सकते हैं, बट ऑब्वियसली ऐसा अभी भी हुआ है. सो आई थिंक कोटक बैंक नॉट रियली द बेस्ट स्टॉक टू टॉक इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ इट लुक्स ऑन पेपर. उसको एक्चुअली जब भी मूव करना होता है, दैट टाइम इट कैन रियली मूव. सो कोटक बैंक, even though on paper it doesn't look that appealing, possibly, I don't think it's very bearish at all. SBI, here we can see एकदम डोजी ही फॉर्म किया है. इनफैक्ट आई थिंक आज 60 मिनट चार्ट देखना पड़ेगा SBI का जस्ट टू गेट एन आइडिया ऑफ द प्राइस एक्शन. व्हाट वी कैन सी हियर, ये 14 जून है एक्चुअली, ये था, ये दिस इज हाउ इट वाज. वेयर कैन आई एक्चुअली सिलेक्ट इट? दिस इज टुडेज डे. सो आज के डे में वी कैन सी रियली नॉट दैट मच हैपनिंग. 5 मिनट के चार्ट पे भी उतना कुछ दिखने नहीं वाला हम लोग को. सो पॉसिबली अ गुड ऑप्शन सेलर्स डे फॉर एसबीआई ऑप्शंस बाय द वे मूव very interestingly. Let's just keep it at that. Next stock that I will talk about is Axis Bank. And again, this is the last stock. What we can see here, big move, but still within that 4.5% bracket that we've been talking about for quite some time. Next is Nifty. Nifty का हम लोग 60 मिनट पहले देखेंगे. 60 मिनट by the way डेली भी देख लिया होगा, एक हिंट जैसा आ गया होगा. बट व्हाट वी कैन सी फ्रॉम द 60 मिनट हियर इज दैट इट वाज अ फ्लैट डे. सेकंड हाफ में बैंक निफ्टी में buying aa gayi, but in case of Nifty, we saw selling happening in the second half. So there's a bit of a divergence, if you can call it that. RSI 60 dot on the hourly chart, which is interesting. Obviously, next support is likely to be 835. Days high made, obviously, which is the all-time high, was 15,900. So we are very, very close to that 16,000 mark, which is, obviously lovely to see. And this is what the 5 minute chart looked like for Nifty. Obviously, जो भी सब levels है, सब है, वो मिलेंगे description में, always होते हैं, whether you're watching on TradingView or on other platforms, YouTube और सब में I keep the description. It's just that YouTube has, all the resources. So all the resources, if you want additional resources, those will only be on YouTube, because again, word limit ज़्यादा है. But now jumping to Reliance. Reliance में what we can see is that the first, this was the first target. वो तो ऑब्वियसली ब्रीच कर लिया. 2192 सेकंड टारगेट, और जो थर्ड टारगेट है 2278 का, इनफैक्ट आज उधर से ही रेजिस्टेंस मिला है. दिस इज अ फिफ्थ बेस्ड एक्सटेंशन, ट्रेंड बेस्ड एक्सटेंशन. Here what we can see, 2278 next target. After that कोई है, after that we have 0%. So जो all time high है 2382 का, वो है. And after that we have 2526. So let's see how Reliance moves. Next stock that's there is Infosys. And Infosys में what we can see happening is that एकदम I think ये भी inside bar है, can be called a bullish harami maybe, but this is what we're seeing with Infosys here. All time high, I'm not sure if it was able to make. I think yesterday just ATH के आसपास ही था. So Infosys, a bit of a gray area, was not able to close very strongly, not very consistently. So that's out of the picture. Next stock, HDFC Bank. Sorry, HDFC Sada, simple HDFC, plain HDFC. What we're seeing here, there's that idiotic, annoying crow outside who's just blabbering. उसको मजा आता है, लगता है मेरे को इरिटेट करने में, पर ठीक है. Here we can see HDFC. Hope that bird is not too loud. But yeah, HDFC, good buying happening yesterday. आज भी again inside bar. So what we can see, काफी stocks inside bar बना रहे हैं, which is typically not a very, momentum wala sign. But when we combine it with this, for example, HDFC is at 50 MA, Kotak Bank is at 50 MA, all these stocks at 50 MA is a good sign. Anyway, if you like this one, make sure you like it, share, comment, subscribe, do everything you can. It's free. It might be, see, here's the thing, it might be free for you, but it's literally priceless to me. And I've said this before because it's true, so I'm saying it again. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do everything you can. It helps out a bunch. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you in the next, and happy trading.